Have you ever just stopped and wondered what a thought is? I mean, not what it's about, but what it's literally made of. We talk about feelings, memories, but are they just electrical zaps that disappear in a flash? Or is there something more, something physical that actually sticks around inside us? Okay, let's get into this.
What if our consciousness isn't just about neurons firing off? What if it's about the physical properties of our brain tissue itself? There's this new theory that suggests our entire inner world, our very sense of who we are, is all down to the brain's ability to hold on to a physical strain, to quite literally jiggle with the memory of an experience.
And the key to this whole thing, the secret ingredient, is a property you've probably never thought about when it comes to your brain. It's called viscoelasticity. Now, I know, it sounds super complex, but just think of it as the bridge between a simple reflex and a deep, profound feeling.
So, if we really want to wrap our heads around consciousness, we first have to understand the stuff it's made of. Let's start right there, with the brain's secret material.
Let's break this down into two really simple ideas. First up, you've got elasticity. Okay, picture a rubber ball. You squeeze it, it stores up all that energy, and the second you let go, boom, it snaps right back. That's your instant reflex. But then, on the other hand, there's viscosity. This is way more like thick honey. It resists when you try to stir it, and when you stop, it just slowly settles back down. It gets rid of energy over time, and that is the physical root of a lingering memory.
But here's where the magic happens. The brain isn't just one or the other, it's both. Viscoelasticity is this amazing fusion of that instant snapback and that slow, sticky return. It's a material that can react in a split second, but also hold on to a memory of that force, slowly relaxing over time. This, right here, is the physical bridge between a knee-jerk reaction and a deep reflective awareness.
So, how does this physical property actually build up into the experiences we all know, like a reflex versus a feeling? Let's take a look.
And this brings us right to the heart of the theory, a really powerful idea from the source material. Emotion isn't just some abstract thing. No, it's a physical reality. It is, and I quote, stored mechanical memory distributed in time and tissue. You know that feeling of anxiety or joy that just sticks with you? That's your brain tissue, literally, physically, holding on to the strain of an experience and letting it go slowly over time.
So you can basically think of it like a ladder, building up to consciousness. At the bottom, pure elasticity gives you a simple reflex. You add in viscosity, that slow, lingering quality, and now you've got emotion. And when you combine them into a really complex viscoelastic system, well, that's when you get the big one, consciousness itself.
Okay, but is there any actual evidence for this? I mean, it's a pretty wild idea. To find out, we need to take a trip way back in time and check out evolution's inner journey. You know, if we look back through evolutionary history, we see this really clear trend. It wasn't just about evolving more neurons. It was about developing more complex, viscoelastic systems. We start with the simple, instant reactions of pre-neural life. Then you get these rhythmic pulses in jellyfish nerve nets. Then in worms, you get segmented ganglia that allow for basic memory. The really big leap happens with fish, where cerebrospinal fluid creates this persistence of feeling. You could say it's the birth of true emotion. And this all leads up to mammals, and of course, most dramatically, to us.
And in humans, this whole evolutionary road trip ends with a truly incredible structure, all represented by this one number, 6. We're talking about this 6-layered neocortex. This ridiculously intricate architecture is the absolute pinnacle of this viscoelastic journey, a biological machine that's capable of incredible resonance and self-awareness.
So when you look at it this way, the secret ingredient in this entire journey is just time. At every single step of evolution, the system's ability to hold on to a strain, to delay relaxing got longer and longer. A millisecond reflex slowly evolves into a mood that can last for days in a complex mammal. So the story of consciousness is really just the story of evolution literally stretching out biological time.
And this all leads us straight to the human brain and our own experience. So, Section 4, the conscious continuum.
So how does our brain actually pull this off? Well, you can think of it like a 3-part system. First, the cortical layers act like these superfine elastic oscillators, reacting instantly. Then, the dense white matter acts as a delay medium, a place where signals can be integrated over time. And finally, you have the glial cells and cerebrospinal fluid, the brain's support team, regulating the whole system, damping the mechanical pressure. The whole thing is an architecture built for reflection. And what's the result of this incredible architecture? It's what we call conscious continuity. It's that feeling of being a single unified you that just flows through time. It's the ability to hold a memory of your past, experience the present moment, and imagine a future, all at the same time. This, the theory argues, is the direct product of the brain's multi-layered, multi-timescale viscoelastic jiggle.
Okay, now, this is where things get really, really weird. If this is a fundamental physical principle, does it only apply to brains? Let's go to section 5, beyond the brain.
What's just so fascinating is that these exact same principles might apply to other complex systems. I mean, take a social system, right? Moral tension builds up and is then slowly released as a collective mood, like widespread anxiety or hope. Or think about an economic system. Financial stress builds up in currency and credit, and it eventually releases as inflation or a market crash. From this perspective, these are all emotion equivalents, just operating on that same physical principle of strain and delayed release.
This idea gives us a totally new way to rank systems by their ability to remember. You know, basic physics is almost purely reactive, with almost no memory. The economy has some, but that memory fades pretty fast. Society holds a stronger, semi-viscoelastic memory through things like culture and laws. But the brain is the absolute master, with that deep, resonant, viscoelastic memory that you need for true self-awareness.
And the implications for the future? They're staggering. This suggests that for an AI to ever truly feel, to have an inner life, we might need to build it not just out of silicon, but out of something like a synthetic viscoelastic gel. A purely digital AI can process tons of information, sure, but without that physical drag, that inertia, it can't have the emotional memory that's at the very core of consciousness. The key, it seems, at any scale, is the ability to physically store strain and delay its release.
So we're left with this profound, really provocative question. If consciousness is, at its heart, a property of matter and time, of a jiggle that lingers, could we one day build it from scratch? Or maybe even more startling, could it already exist in some primitive form in the complex, pulsating economic and social systems we've built all around ourselves? Now that is a thought that truly lingers.